Ladies and gentlemen, imagine for just one moment that everything you've ever desired, love, abundance, health, peace, already exists, waiting for you right now. Not years from now, not after endless struggle, but within the next 60 minutes. What if I told you that in just one focused hour, you could tune yourself like an instrument, align with the infinite source of creation, and begin attracting the very life you've been dreaming of? Stay with me, because what you're about to hear has the power to shift your reality forever. There is a timeless power that flows through every living being, an infinite wellspring of energy that animates the stars, the oceans, the forests, and the beating of your heart. This is Source. It is not something external to you. It is not hidden in some far-off temple or locked away behind years of difficult study. It is present in this very moment within you and around you, breathing life into every thought you think, every word you speak, every step you take. To align with Source is to remember who you truly are, a divine being with unlimited creative potential. And when you align, manifestation is not a struggle, it is a natural outpouring of your connection. I invite you to imagine for just 60 minutes that you can shift your vibration, your awareness, your very way of being, to merge with this boundless energy. In one focused hour, you can go from feeling disconnected, doubtful, and uncertain to being in absolute harmony with the creative force of the universe. In that alignment, what you desire flows to you, not because you forced it or demanded it, but because you became a vibrational match to what you are calling forth. Let us begin by recognizing that the source of all creation is pure love. It is not critical. It is not judgmental. It does not keep a tally of your mistakes or demand penance for your shortcomings. It is unconditional love, eternal and ever-present. To align with Source, you must release the illusion that you are separate from it. That illusion is born from fear, from ego, from the small self that says, I am not worthy, I am not capable, I am limited. But Source knows none of that. Source whispers to you, you are infinite, you are worthy, you are capable of all things. The first step in your 60-minute alignment is silence. For just a few minutes, allow yourself to be still. Sit, breathe, close your eyes, and let go of the need to achieve or do. You are not required to chant a certain phrase or sit in a particular posture. You are simply asked to be still and to listen. Beneath the noise of the mind is the quiet hum of eternity. That hum is Source. When you pause to feel it, you realize that alignment is not something you strive for. It is something you allow. Once you have stilled your mind, you begin to attune your inner world with the frequency of love. Love is the bridge between you and Source. In fact, there is no bridge. There is only recognition. Love is the recognition that you are already one with it. When you hold a thought of love for yourself, for someone you care about, for humanity at large, you are tuning your instrument to the same vibration that Source eternally holds. Now imagine this love expanding outward. In your 60 minutes, dedicate a portion of that time to seeing yourself as a radiant being of light. See yourself surrounded by a glow that reaches far beyond your physical body. See that glow extending into the lives of those you love, into your community, into the world. As you imagine this, understand that you are not pretending. You are remembering the truth of who you are. To manifest is not to beg the universe for favors. It is not to plead for what you lack. Manifestation is alignment. It is standing in the knowing that what you desire already exists in the field of infinite possibility. Source has already said yes to every loving desire in your heart. The only question is, are you aligned enough to allow it in? In this hour of practice, you learn to move from resistance to receptivity. Resistance is born of fear. It sounds like it will never happen. I don't deserve this. I'm not good enough. I don't have the resources. Receptivity sounds like, I trust, I allow, I am worthy. I am open. The moment you shift your inner dialogue from resistance to receptivity, you open the floodgates of manifestation. Your thoughts are powerful beyond measure. Each thought is a vibration. When you dwell in thoughts of lack, fear, and limitation, you broadcast a frequency that is misaligned with Source. But when you dwell in thoughts of abundance, gratitude, and love, you are broadcasting the very frequency that creates worlds. So in your 60 minutes, commit to monitoring your thoughts. When a thought of fear arises, thank it for showing you where your alignment needs to be adjusted, and then gently replace it with a thought of trust. Gratitude is one of the most immediate ways to align with Source. Spend part of your hour writing down or simply reflecting on all that you are grateful for. Gratitude says, I recognize the blessings already present in my life. And the moment you say that, you align with the frequency that attracts more blessings. Gratitude is a declaration of abundance. It is the language of Source. As you deepen into this practice, visualize what you wish to manifest. Do not focus on the absence of it. Instead, feel the presence of it. If you wish for greater health, see yourself strong, vibrant, full of energy. If you wish for love, see yourself in the embrace of a partner who mirrors your joy and radiance. If you wish for abundance, see yourself free, generous, able to give and receive with ease. The secret is not to imagine it as though it were far away, but to feel it as though it were here now. Because in the field of Source, there is no someday. There is only now. Your emotions are your compass. When you feel joy, peace, enthusiasm, you are aligned. When you feel despair, frustration, or anger, you are misaligned. Do not judge yourself for misalignment. Instead, use it as guidance. In this 1 hour, you will inevitably notice moments of distraction, of doubt, of slipping back in old patterns. That is not failure. That is the opportunity to notice, to return, to realign. Each time you return, you strengthen your connection. Remember that alignment is not something that takes years to achieve. It can happen in an instant. The very moment you choose love over fear, gratitude over lack, trust over doubt, you are aligned. That is why in just 60 minutes you can manifest. Not because the universe suddenly delivers what you want in a neat package, but because in that hour you become the vibrational match to what you seek, and the path to it begins to unfold naturally. There is great power in intention. At the beginning of your 60 minutes, set a clear, loving intention. Say to yourself, I am aligning with Source. I am a co-creator of my reality. I allow the fullness of my desires to flow into my life with ease. This intention is like striking a tuning fork. The moment you strike it, all of life begins to resonate with it. Hold that intention in your heart as you move through your hour. Do not underestimate the power of your imagination. Imagination is not daydreaming, it is creation. Everything that exists in your world first existed in someone's imagination. When you allow yourself to imagine freely, without limitation, you are tapping into the very mind of Source. Imagination is how the infinite communicates through you. So give yourself permission, in this hour, to imagine without boundaries. See yourself living the life you desire. Feel it in your body. Hear it in your mind. Taste it, smell it, and know it. The more vividly you imagine, the more real it becomes in your vibration, and the more quickly it flows into your experience. During this process, release the need to control the how. Source does not require your micromanagement. It already knows the fastest, most harmonious way to bring your desires to you. Your task is alignment, not control. Your task is to stay open, receptive, and trusting, even when the outer circumstances have not yet shifted. The oak tree is already contained within the acorn, though you cannot see it in full bloom. Trust that your desires are like that acorn, already complete in the unseen. There is also a sacred power in detachment. When you attach yourself with desperation, when you say, I must have this and I must have it now, you are broadcasting lack. Detachment says, I am open to receiving this or something even greater. In perfect timing, detachment is trust. Detachment is the knowing that Source always delivers exactly what you need, even if it looks different from what you imagined. So in your hour of practice, cultivate this relaxed detachment. Allow yourself to say, I trust the process. I know it is unfolding. A breath is another doorway into alignment. Each inhale is a gift from Source. Each exhale is your release back into the infinite. To breathe consciously, slowly, deeply is to remind yourself that you are not separate from life, you are life. As you focus on your breath, feel the flow of energy moving through you. With each inhale, imagine you are breathing in love, abundance, peace. With each exhale, imagine you are releasing fear, doubt, and resistance. This simple practice, done for even a few minutes, can shift your entire vibration. As you move through your 60 minutes, pay attention to the subtle shifts. Notice how your body feels lighter when you focus on gratitude. Notice how your mind feels clearer when you release control. Notice how your heart feels open when you focus on love. These are signs of alignment. They are not small things, they are the very indicators that manifestation is already underway. Affirmations are another powerful tool. Speak words that affirm your connection to Source. Say, I am aligned with infinite intelligence. I am worthy of every good thing. I am a magnet for love, abundance, and joy. I am one with the source of all creation. Speak these words not as though you are trying to convince yourself, but as though you are remembering the truth. Speak them with conviction, with feeling, with faith. The vibration of your words carries creative power. Service is a natural expression of alignment. When you give from a place of love without expectation of return, you are living in the frequency of Source. Even in your 1 hour practice, take a moment to send loving thoughts to someone else. Wish them joy, peace, success. As you give love, you are attuned to love. As you bless another, you bless yourself. The universe always responds to the vibration of giving. Laughter and joy are often overlooked but immensely powerful aligners. When you allow yourself to laugh, to smile, to feel lighthearted, you are releasing resistance and tuning into the frequency of joy, which is the very essence of Source. So during your 60 minutes, do not be afraid to smile, to feel joy bubbling up, to allow yourself to bask in the lightness of being. Joy is a magnet for manifestation. You may also call upon the power of forgiveness. To hold resentment or anger is to carry a weight that keeps you from alignment. Forgiveness is not about approving of what someone else has done. It is about releasing yourself from the bondage of that energy. In your hour, bring to mind anyone you may be holding resentment toward, and simply say, I release you. I set you free. I choose peace. Feel the weight lift from your shoulders as you forgive. That space you create becomes an opening for manifestation. Throughout this process, remember that alignment is not about perfection. It is about awareness. The more aware you become of your inner state, the more quickly you can shift into alignment. Even if you fall into doubt, fear, or resistance 20 times in your hour, the act of returning again and again is what strengthens your connection. Each return is a victory. Each return is an act of love. Your environment also plays a role. Surround yourself with beauty, with sounds, with scents that uplift you. Perhaps play gentle music that opens your heart. Perhaps light a candle to symbolize the light within you. These simple gestures remind your senses of the sacredness of the hour. They create an atmosphere that makes it easier for your mind and body to relax into alignment. As you come to the final moments of your 60 minutes, allow yourself to sit in stillness once again. Notice how different you feel from when you began. Notice the peace, the clarity, the expansiveness in your heart. Understand that this shift is not temporary. It is a remembering of your natural state. You are aligned. You are one with Source. And in that alignment, manifestation is inevitable. When you open your eyes, carry that alignment with you. Let it guide your words, your actions, your choices. Let it ripple into every conversation, every encounter, every decision. For the true manifestation is not just in the receiving of things. It is in the transformation of your being. You have tasted what it means to live in alignment. You have felt the power of Source moving through you. And from this state, everything you desire flows effortlessly into your life. From this place of alignment, life no longer feels like a series of obstacles to be overcome, but like a stream that carries you gently forward. When you are in harmony with Source, there is no sense of pushing against the current. Instead, there is an ease, a flow, a natural unfolding that reassures you that you are exactly where you need to be, doing exactly what you need to be doing. The mind may protest and say, but what about my goals? What about my deadlines? What about the things I must achieve? Yet the heart whispers, trust, relax, allow. And when you listen to that whisper, you discover that manifestation is not about frantic striving, but about allowing the universe to orchestrate the details in ways you could never have planned. Imagine that you are an instrument in a great symphony. The music is being composed and conducted by Source itself. Your only responsibility is to stay in tune. When you are in tune, the music flows through you effortlessly. When you are out of tune, the music feels dissonant, chaotic, and strained. Your hour of alignment is your tuning session. It is where you remember your natural harmony with the infinite orchestra of life. Once you are in tune, you can trust that the music will play beautifully without you needing to control every note. One of the most powerful shifts you can make in this hour is to move from asking to knowing. Asking implies that what you want is not yet yours, that it exists somewhere outside of you, and that you must persuade the universe to deliver it. Knowing, however, is a state of being where you recognize that what you desire is already present in the unseen, waiting for you to align with it. In knowing, there is no desperation, no pleading, no lack. There is simply trust and expectation. Knowing says, it is already done. I am simply allowing it to unfold in perfect timing. This shift from asking to knowing transforms the way you speak, the way you think, the way you carry yourself. Instead of saying, I hope this happens, you begin to say, I know it is happening. Instead of saying, I wish I could have this, you say, I am grateful that this is already on its way to me. That shift alone raises your vibration into alignment with Source, because Source always operates from certainty, never from doubt. Another essential practice in your 60 minutes is surrender. Surrender is often misunderstood as giving up or becoming passive, but true surrender is an act of immense power. It is the moment when you release your attachment to outcomes and allow the infinite intelligence of Source to move through you. Surrender says, I trust that the highest good is unfolding, even if I cannot see how. In surrender, you are no longer resisting life. You are no longer trying to force the river to flow upstream. You are resting in the current, allowing yourself to be carried by a wisdom greater than your own. When you surrender, miracles happen. Opportunities appear where you least expect them. People show up in your life who hold the very answers you've been seeking. Doors open that you thought were permanently closed. Surrender does not mean you stop taking action. It means your actions are no longer rooted in fear or desperation. They are inspired, effortless, and guided. In your 60 minutes, take time to consciously surrender. Say to yourself, I release control. I release resistance. I trust the process. Feel the relief that comes with those words. That relief is the opening through which manifestation flows. Visualization becomes even more powerful when you combine it with emotion. It is not enough to simply see yourself with the things you desire. You must feel it as though it is happening now. Emotion is the language of the soul. When you feel joy, gratitude, excitement, you are signaling to Source that you are already experiencing your desire. That emotional signal draws the physical experience toward you like a magnet. So in your visualization, don't just see the car, the home, the partner, the opportunity. Feel the freedom, the love, the joy, the abundance that those manifestations bring. The universe does not respond to images alone. It responds to the vibration behind them. In the same way, words carry vibration. Pay attention to the words you speak during your hour of alignment and beyond it. Words like, I can't, I don't have, it's hard, are signals of lack. Words like I can, I am, It's unfolding, are signals of abundance. Source is always listening, not in the sense of judgment, but in the sense of resonance. What you speak, you reinforce. What you declare, you invite. So let your words be declarations of alignment. I am in harmony with life. I am open to receiving all that I desire. I am worthy of love, joy, and abundance. One of the great secrets of alignment is that what you seek is often less about the physical object and more about the feeling you believe it will give you. You do not truly want the relationship for the sake of having a partner. You want the feeling of love, connection, and intimacy. You do not truly want the money for the sake of paper and numbers. You want the feeling of freedom, security, and expansion. You do not truly want the career title. You want the feeling of purpose, contribution, and recognition. When you realize this, you understand that you can generate those feelings now, in this very moment, without waiting for the outer manifestation. And when you generate those feelings now, you align with the vibration that calls the outer manifestation to you. The outer is always a reflection of the inner. Your body, too, plays a role in alignment. Notice how your posture, your breath, your movement affect your state of being. When you slump your shoulders, hang your head, and breathe shallowly, you are signaling contraction. When you lift your chest, hold your head high, and breathe deeply, you are signaling expansion. The body and the mind are not separate. The way you hold yourself physically influences the way you feel emotionally and spiritually. So during your hour, take time to align your body. Stretch, move, breathe, sit tall. Allow your body to be a vessel through which Source flows freely. You may also find that aligning with Source brings with it an increased sensitivity to intuition. Intuition is the voice of Source within you. It is subtle, quiet, often drowned out by the louder voice of the ego. But when you create stillness, you begin to hear it more clearly. Intuition does not argue or persuade. It nudges, whispers, and gently guides. It may come as a sudden idea, a gut feeling, a knowing that defies logic. In your hour, when you receive these intuitive impressions, trust them, write them down, act on them when inspired. The more you trust your intuition, the stronger it becomes. It is your inner compass pointing you toward alignment and manifestation. It is important to understand that manifestation is not always instantaneous in physical form. Sometimes the universe must rearrange circumstances, people, and events to bring your desire to you. Do not mistake the delay for denial. If you have aligned, if you have surrendered, if you are holding the vibration of your desire, it is already on its way. The farmer does not plant a seed today and expect a full harvest tomorrow, but he trusts that the harvest will come in its season. Your manifestations are the same. Plant them in the soil of alignment. Water them with gratitude and trust that they are growing, even if you cannot yet see the sprouts. Resistance often comes in the form of old beliefs. Perhaps you were taught that abundance is only for a select few, that love is hard to find, that success requires struggle. These beliefs are not truths, they are programs, they are stories passed down from others who lived in fear. To align with Source, you must be willing to question these beliefs. Ask yourself, does this belief align with love or with fear? Does it align with abundance or with lack? Does it align with possibility or with limitation? If it does not align with love, abundance, and possibility, then it is not from Source. You have the power to release it. You can choose a new story. You can affirm, abundance is natural. Love is my birthright. Success can be joyful. And as you affirm this, you overwrite the old programs with the truth of who you are. Another key element is receptivity. Many people are excellent at asking, visualizing, and affirming, but when the universe tries to deliver, they resist. They resist by doubting, by feeling unworthy, by dismissing opportunities. To be receptive is to open your arms wide and say, yes, I am ready. Yes, I am worthy. Yes, I accept this blessing. Receptivity is not passive. It is active openness. It is a state of readiness, a willingness to step forward when the door opens. In your 60 minutes, practice being receptive. Imagine yourself joyfully saying yes to the opportunities that appear. Imagine yourself feeling worthy of every blessing. That feeling of worthiness is the key that unlocks the door. One of the most profound realizations in alignment is that you are not separate from what you seek. You are not separate from love because you are love. You are not separate from abundance because abundance is the natural state of Source. You are not separate from health because health is the vibration of life itself. The idea of separation is an illusion created by the ego. When you align, you see through that illusion. You realize that what you are seeking is already within you, and the outer world is simply reflecting it back to you. This realization brings immense peace, because you stop chasing and start allowing. As you deepen into this awareness, you will notice synchronicities appearing more frequently in your life. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations that you are aligned. The right book falls into your hands at the perfect moment. A friend calls you with exactly the advice you needed. A stranger says something that answers a question you've been pondering. These synchronicities are the universe's way of saying, yes, you are on the path. Keep going. During your hour, be open to noticing them. Reflect on the synchronicities you've already experienced. Let them remind you that Source is always communicating, always guiding. Joy is not only a sign of alignment, it is the essence of it. When you allow yourself to feel joy without conditions, you are in the purest vibration of Source. Too often, people postpone joy. They say, I'll be happy when I get the job, the house, the relationship. But alignment invites you to feel joy now, regardless of circumstances. That joy is the magnet that pulls the outer circumstances into alignment with your inner state. So in your hour, find reasons to smile, find reasons to laugh, find reasons to feel joy. They don't have to be grand. It could be the warmth of sunlight on your face, the sound of birds singing, the taste of fresh water. These small joys add up to a vibration of gratitude and love that aligns you with the infinite. Compassion is another pathway to alignment. When you extend compassion to others, you are seeing them as Source sees them, worthy, whole, and divine. Compassion dissolves judgment, which is a barrier to alignment. Judgment says, you are separate, you are wrong, you are less than. Compassion says, you are me, I am you, we are one. In your hour, take time to send compassion to someone you may have judged, even if that someone is yourself. Say, I see you as divine, I see you as worthy. I release judgment and choose love. That choice instantly aligns you with the vibration of Source. Patience is a virtue often overlooked in the manifestation process. In the rush to see results, many people undo their alignment with impatience. They say, where is it? Why hasn't it come yet? That energy of impatience is rooted in lack. Patience, however, is rooted in trust. Patience says, I know it is unfolding. I know the timing is perfect. I am at peace in the waiting. In your hour, practice patience. Feel the calm assurance that what you desire is already on its way and that it will arrive at the perfect moment in the perfect way. That state of calm expectation is one of the most powerful vibrations you can hold. Generosity also aligns you with Source. When you give freely without fear of loss, you affirm abundance. You say, I have more than enough and I trust that more will always flow to me. That vibration attracts more abundance into your life. Generosity is not only about money. It can be a smile, a kind word, a helping hand, your time, your attention. In your hour, consider how you can give. Even if it is simply sending loving energy to someone in need, that act of giving aligns you with the flow of Source. Because Source is endlessly generous, and when you are generous, you mirror that energy. Self-love is perhaps the most foundational aspect of alignment. Without it, all other practices are weakened. When you love yourself, you are affirming your worthiness to receive. You are affirming that you are a divine expression of Source. Self-love is not arrogance or selfishness. It is recognition of truth. It is saying, I am enough exactly as I am. I am worthy of love, joy, and abundance. In your hour, practice self-love. Place your hand on your heart and say, I love you. I accept you. I honor you. Feel the warmth of those words. That vibration radiates outward, influencing every manifestation in your life. Finally, remember that alignment is not confined to this 1 hour. It is a state you can return to at any moment. The hour is a practice, a container, a sacred time where you consciously align. But the goal is not to leave it behind when the clock runs out. The goal is to carry it with you to every interaction, every decision, every thought. When you do, life becomes a continuous manifestation, a continuous dance with Source, a continuous unfolding of miracles that remind you of your infinite nature. When you step back into the world after your hour of alignment, you begin to notice that everything around you is responding differently. It is not that the world itself has suddenly changed overnight, but rather that your perception has shifted, your vibration has risen, and your alignment has opened your eyes to a deeper reality. The same street you have walked down 1,000 times may suddenly look brighter, more alive, more welcoming. The same people you have spoken with for years may seem kinder, more open, more supportive. What has changed is you, and because you have changed, the way the universe reflects itself back to you has shifted as well. It is as though you have tuned an old radio dial and found a clearer frequency. The static is gone, the music comes through crisp and full. That music has always been there, but until you tuned yourself to it, you could not hear it. Alignment is the tuning process, and manifestation is the music that follows. When you are tuned in, everything becomes clearer. The opportunities that once seemed invisible suddenly stand right in front of you. The solutions that once felt impossible suddenly reveal themselves with ease. Life is not meant to be a puzzle you cannot solve. Life is meant to be a song you can dance to. This does not mean that challenges disappear. Challenges may still arise, but when you are aligned, you see them through different eyes. Instead of viewing them as obstacles meant to block you, you see them as invitations to deepen your alignment, to strengthen your faith, to practice your trust. When you are aligned, a challenge becomes a teacher, a guide, a messenger from Source. Instead of saying, why is this happening to me? You begin to say, what is this showing me? How can I grow from this? What gift is hidden in this experience? That shift alone transforms every situation into an opportunity for manifestation. Think of alignment as a garden. Each thought, each word, each feeling you cultivate is a seed. When you nurture seeds of love, gratitude, abundance, and trust, you are cultivating a garden that will bear fruits of joy, peace, and prosperity. When you allow seeds of fear, doubt, and resentment to take root, you are cultivating weeds that choke out your potential. But the beauty of this garden is that you are the gardener. You decide which seeds to water, which seeds to nurture, and which to release. Your 60 minutes of alignment is your daily tending of the garden. And when you tend it with care, you will find that the harvest comes not only in the form of what you manifest, but also in the form of who you become. Another realization that comes with alignment is the power of presence. Too often, people live in the past or the future. They replay old mistakes, old hurts, old stories. Or they project themselves into a future filled with worry, anxiety, and uncertainty. But Source only exists in the now. The past is memory, the future is imagination, but the present is creation. When you anchor yourself in this moment, you align with the eternal now where all manifestation begins. The breath is the easiest way to enter presence. With each inhale, you say to yourself, I am here. With each exhale, you release the grip of past and future. Presence is the gateway through which Source flows into your life. You may find that when you truly embrace presence, time itself feels different. An hour can feel like a lifetime of expansion, and a lifetime can feel like a single sacred moment. Presence collapses the illusion of separation between you and what you desire, because if everything exists in the now, then your desires already exist here in this field of possibility. The act of manifestation is not about pulling something from the future into the present. It is about aligning with the present where it already exists. When you understand this, you stop chasing after tomorrow and start embodying today. There is also great power in appreciation. Appreciation is a higher vibration even than gratitude because it carries with it the energy of delight. Gratitude says, I am thankful for what is here. Appreciation says, I am delighted by what is here. It is the difference between acknowledging a flower and marveling at its beauty, inhaling its fragrance, admiring its delicate design. When you practice appreciation during your hour of alignment, you expand your vibration even further. You begin to notice the small miracles, the way sunlight dances on water, the way a stranger smiles at you, the way your body breathes without you needing to control it. These small miracles are evidence of Source in action, and the more you appreciate them, the more miracles you invite into your experience. As you expand your practice, you may also notice an increase in creativity. Creativity is the natural outpouring of alignment. When you are connected to Source, ideas flow like a river. Solutions present themselves without effort. Inspiration strikes in moments of stillness. You may find yourself drawn to write, to paint, to sing, to dance, to build, to create in ways you had not considered before. Creativity is one of the ways Source expresses itself through you. When you honor that creativity, you are honoring your connection. You are saying yes to the flow of life moving through you. And those creative expressions often become pathways through which manifestation occurs because they are aligned with your deepest joy. Love, in its purest form, is the ultimate manifestation. When you love, you are aligned. When you love yourself, you are affirming your divinity. When you love others, you are recognizing their divinity. When you love life, you are harmonizing with Source itself. Love is not something you need to earn or seek. It is your natural state. In your hour, return to love again and again. Whenever doubt arises, love. Whenever fear arises, love. Whenever resistance arises, love. Love is the alchemy that transforms every vibration into alignment. It is important also to recognize that alignment is not about suppressing emotions. Many people believe that to stay aligned, they must avoid anger, sadness, or grief. But alignment is not denial. Alignment is honesty. If sadness arises, allow yourself to feel it fully, but then invite love into it. If anger arises, allow yourself to acknowledge it, but then ask what it is teaching you. When you bring love to every emotion, even the heavy ones, you transmute them. You allow them to move through you instead of becoming stuck. The moment you invite love into any emotion, you are aligning again with Source. Your relationships, too, are profoundly influenced by alignment. When you are aligned, you no longer approach relationships from a place of neediness or lack. You do not seek others to complete you, because you already feel whole. You do not demand love because you are love. You do not cling because you trust. In this state, relationships become expressions of shared joy rather than contracts of dependency. You attract partners, friends, and companions who resonate with your vibration. You naturally release those who no longer align. This does not require force or conflict. It happens effortlessly, like tuning into a frequency where only certain instruments can play in harmony. Money is often one of the most sought-after manifestations, and it too responds to alignment. Money is simply energy. It flows where there is openness, receptivity, and gratitude. When you fear money, resent money, or chase money, you push it away. When you appreciate money, bless money, and see it as a tool for good, you attract it. During your hour, bless every dollar you have, no matter how small. See it as a symbol of abundance. Imagine it multiplying with ease. Affirm that money flows to you in expected and unexpected ways. The key is to remove the fear and replace it with trust. Money is not your source. Source is your source. Money is simply one of the ways Source expresses abundance in your life. Health and vitality are also natural outgrowths of alignment. When you are aligned, your body reflects it. Stress, tension, and dis-ease are often signs of misalignment. But when you dwell in love, peace, and joy, your body relaxes, your immune system strengthens, your cells vibrate at a higher frequency. During your hour, visualize your body glowing with light, each cell radiating health. Speak to your body with kindness. Thank you for carrying me. Thank you for your strength. Thank you for your resilience. Your body listens. It responds to your words and your energy. When you align with love for your body, you invite health to manifest. Peace of mind is perhaps the most underrated manifestation. In a world that glorifies business and constant striving, to be at peace is a radical act of alignment. When your mind is calm, when your thoughts are gentle, when your inner dialogue is kind, you are aligned with the stillness of Source. Peace of mind is not the absence of thought. It is the presence of harmony. It is the ability to observe your thoughts without becoming entangled in them. In your hour, practice resting in that peace. Feel the quiet within you, the stillness beneath the noise. That peace is always there, waiting for you to notice it. One of the most liberating truths of alignment is that you are never truly starting from scratch. Every moment of alignment builds upon the last. Even if you fall into fear or doubt, the alignment you have already practiced is not lost. It remains within you, like embers waiting to be fanned into flame. Each time you return to alignment, the flame grows stronger. This is why it becomes easier over time. What once felt like effort becomes effortless. What once felt like discipline becomes joy. Alignment becomes your default state, and manifestation becomes the natural rhythm of your life. Trust is the foundation of all alignment. Trust that you are guided. Trust that you are supported. Trust that you are loved. Trust that what you desire is already on its way. Trust that even when things seem uncertain, Source is orchestrating everything for your highest good. Trust does not mean you never question. It means that beneath the questions, there is an unshakable faith in the benevolence of life. In your hour, strengthen that trust. Repeat to yourself, I trust. I allow. I am guided. Let those words sink into your being until they become the lens through which you see the world. As you carry this alignment into your daily life, you begin to see that manifestation is not about acquiring things, but about embodying states of being. The car, the house, the partner, the job, all of these are expressions of a deeper vibration. When you focus on the vibration rather than the object, you align more quickly and more fully. Focus on joy, and joy-filled experiences appear. Focus on love, and love-filled relationships appear. Focus on abundance, and abundance-filled opportunities appear. The outer is always the reflection of the inner. Alignment is the inner work. Manifestation is the outer reflection. Generational patterns may also come to light as you align. You may realize that some of the beliefs you carry are not even yours. They are inherited from parents, grandparents, or culture. Beliefs about struggle, scarcity, unworthiness may have been passed down like heirlooms. But you are not bound to them. You have the power to release them, to break the cycle, to create a new story. When you align with Source, you align not only for yourself, but for those who came before you and those who will come after you. Your alignment becomes a gift to your lineage, a ripple that heals past wounds and plants seeds of light for future generations. Nature is one of the most accessible teachers of alignment. Observe a tree. It does not strain to grow, yet it reaches toward the sky with effortless grace. Observe a river. It does not force its way, yet it carves valleys and nourishes life. Observe the sun. It does not question its worth, yet it shines every day, unconditionally. Nature lives in constant alignment with Source. It trusts, it flows, it expands. During your hour, spend time in nature if you can. Feel the earth beneath your feet, the air on your skin, the sound of water, the warmth of sunlight. These are reminders of what it means to live in harmony. You may also find it helpful to practice detachment from outcomes. Detachment does not mean indifference. It means you are so rooted in trust, so aligned with Source, that you do not cling to how or when your desires will manifest. You set your intention, you align, and then you release. You say, this or something better. Detachment creates space for miracles, for outcomes beyond what your mind can imagine. When you cling too tightly, you limit the possibilities. When you release, you open to infinite possibilities. In your hour, practice saying, I release, I trust, I allow the best possible outcome. Feel the freedom that comes with those words. Every act of kindness you offer is also an act of alignment. When you smile at a stranger, when you hold a door, when you listen with presence, you are living as an extension of Source. These acts may seem small, but their vibration is immense. They ripple outward in ways you cannot measure. In your hour, imagine the ripple of your kindness touching lives far beyond your own. Imagine your love, your joy, your alignment radiating out to the world, uplifting others without you even needing to know it. This vision amplifies your own alignment because it reminds you that you are not separate. You are part of a whole, a vast interconnected web of love. The practice of alignment also softens your relationship with time. Instead of feeling rushed, pressured, or behind, you begin to see time as an ally. You realize that everything unfolds in perfect timing, that delays are often blessings in disguise, that what seems late is actually right on time. This understanding brings peace. You stop racing against the clock and start flowing with it. In your hour, affirm, I am always in the right place at the right time. Everything unfolds perfectly for me. Feel how that affirmation relaxes your body and calms your mind. That relaxation is alignment. As you expand further, You may notice that manifestation becomes less about what you can get and more about what you can give. When you are aligned, you feel so full, so abundant, so connected, that giving becomes a natural expression. You give your love, your time, your wisdom, your presence, not from obligation, but from overflow. And in that giving, you receive even more. This is one of the great paradoxes of alignment. The more you give, the more you have, because you are not drawing from a limited well, you are drawing from an infinite source. In truth, the greatest manifestation is the realization of your own divinity. To remember that you are not a separate being trying to connect with Source, but that you are Source expressing itself in human form. To remember that your desires are not random whims, but divine impulses seeking expression through you. To remember that you are not broken, not lacking, not unworthy, but whole, infinite, and eternally connected. When you embody this realization, manifestation ceases to be something you do and becomes something you are. Your very being radiates alignment, and life responds accordingly.